everyone, it's Darby from rejoiceandcreate.com. Thanks for stopping by today. Well, today I have a fun little project for you, and that's this one. It is actually a little pouch, and it's kind of reminiscent of a French fry box, and actually I modeled it after a Chick-fil-A French fry box, and you can see it kind of curves out at the bottom of it, and it is three-dimensional, so you can fit some things in there. And in this one I have a hot cocoa pack and a peppermint stick, and I got these 7 for $1 at the Cracker Barrel. But you can use candy canes as well, or anything else you want to put in there. I did decorate the top of my hot cocoa pack by just putting a strip of coordinating paper across the top of it. And I packaged it in a 5 3/4 by 7 3/4 flat bag that I got from Michael's. And I'll show you how I packaged them at the end. So here is another version of it, and what I have in this one is a sticky note and a pen. And I also put 2 tea bags in there as well. So if you're taking notes or going through a catalog, you can have a couple of cups of tea and make your notes for your purchases. And the sticky pad I got at the Dollar Tree. The leaves came from the Dollar Tree, and they're 50 for $1. And I love the colors. They go along well with the project that I made. And the pumpkin was just a punch-out pumpkin that I had done. All right, so let me tell you what we need for this project. For the pouch, you just start with a piece of pattern paper that is 11 inches by 5.5 inches. And if you are using a directional pattern like this one is, you want the width to be the long one and the height to be the vertical of your pattern, so your direction will go in the correct way. And then whatever embellishments you need to complete your pouch. All right, so with your long side up, the 11-inch side up, go ahead and score it at 3 and 8 1/4. Turn it to the side, and if there is a directional pattern, put the bottom against the left guide and score it at 1/2 inch. We're simply making a pouch. Now you don't even need to have a scoreboard to do that. Actually, what you can do is just fold it over from one side and the other. Overlap this about 1/2 inch in the back. So you're overlapping it about 1/2 inch in the back for a glue tab, and then just fold the bottom up about 1/2 inch. And it can be approximate, just has to be even across the bottom. Let's go ahead and burnish our score lines. All right, so what we're going to do is get the bottom of our pouch ready. This center section, 1/2 inch on the bottom, is our tab that will fold around to the back. So we don't need the 1/2 inch on either side. So what we're going to do is we're just going to angle cut from the in the center part up to where those 2 score lines intersect. And then we're going to go from the side and we're cutting off that score line, because we're folding up that tab on the bottom. By cutting off the score line, it'll give us a little less bulk when we fold our tab up. Do the same thing with the other side. Okay, now because I wanted a decorative reveal on the front of mine, I actually just cut a curve. If you have a pattern you want to trace, or if you have some dies to cut a nice reveal on there, you can go ahead and do this. I just cut a little curve on there to just give you a little bit of a reveal of the contents from the pouch. And I did that just so easy. Just match up these 2 score lines like this. So I have my 2 score lines matched up, and I just pinched right at the top. You don't want to pinch down here because you don't want the front of your pouch to have a fold in it, but I just pinched at the top so I knew where the center is. And all I did was cut as far down as I wanted my reveal to go, and I gave a nice curve up right to where the score line meets the top. And it gave me a nice curve along the top, and you don't need any dies to trace it or anything, but it just goes very quickly. All right, so let's put our pouch together. All right, so where it overlaps, we're going to put I'm going to use some tape, double-sided tape. Because this is paper, you don't need something strong. However, if you're going to gift these a little bit in the future, you might want to use some strong adhesive just so that it doesn't pop apart when you're storing them. And just for a note, these will store flat, so you can actually make a whole bunch of them and store it flat until you're ready to gift them. All right, so let's fold these over. and fold this up. Let me just go ahead and flatten us out here. All right, so now we need the scoreboard again. Let me go ahead and take that back out again. All right, so I have my pocket on here, and the open part is up to the top. And I'm going to score in 3/8 of an inch from each side, but only down to the 4-inch mark. So 3/8 inches of the side down to the 4-inch. 1, 2, 3/8, 1, 2, 3/8 inch over here too, only down to where the 4-inch is. And if you're using cardstock for this, I would go ahead and flip it over and do the same on the back, but because mine's paper, it really does go through pretty well. And now we just need our ruler and stylus. And I'm going to put something cushioned underneath. All right, so now with a ruler and a stylus, we're just going to start right where we ended our mark and go right to the corner. So right from there to the corner. Oops. All right, and see, this is where my 3/8 of an inch is. So you can see right from there and then right to the corner. Do that on the other side as well. Go right from where you ended that score line at that 4-inch mark and bring it right down straight to the corner. Okay, so this is what we have in the flat state, and how we're going to poof it up is we're actually going to open this up and just pinch those outside score lines. Let me turn around so I'm right-handed. So just push that center score line down, and that will cause the other score lines to fold, and we want those to be mountains. And let's go ahead and encourage those to fold. Okay, so punch that in, and then just run your finger down the side and push that the center on the side down while you kind of just go ahead and pinch those two on the outside. And take a minute just to pinch them and make them neat. All the way to the end. Okay. So that's one side of our pouch, and we'll do the same to the other side. Okay, so here's our pouch. Oh, let me put that up. So here's our pouch. You can see the side a little better than when it was in the package. Okay, and as I said, you can just push those back out and fold these flat until you're ready to decorate it and use them. All right, but I'm going to push it out because I'm going to go ahead and decorate this one. And as you can see, I'm doing this one in a little bit more neutral or masculine version. I'm using that Smooth Sailing Sweet again from Stampin' Up! Because it's nearby and I like it. All right, so because this is more nautical paper, I'm going to get some twine instead of some ribbon. You can use whatever you have that'll work with your theme. And I am just going to put this down at the... Actually, I think I'm going to put this one across the top. So I'm going to circle this around a few times. One more time, I think. And then just tie a knot. All right, so let me put a glue dot right at the bottom of that knot. Now that I've got it where I like it. And that will hold that in place. All right, because this is going to be a little bit more masculine, I have something that's a little bit more simple. And let me go ahead and take some glue dots and put this right underneath where my bow is. Well, not. And I think that's pretty sweet. Of course, you can put, I mean, hot cocoa will fit. Sticky notes will fit, even a couple of coffee bags will fit, as well as maybe some seed packets. And I thought how fun, I have these reusable tea markers for planting, and maybe a few seed packets and then a handwritten sentiment on one of these and put it in there. But what I am doing is I actually created a couple of notepads, because I know my father always used to have a notepad and a pen in his pocket so he could write things down. And I decorated a couple of these, and they come in a 3-pack from Dollar Tree, and that's what it looks like when it's not decorated. And I'm simply going to tuck the 2 that I decorated with a pen into my pocket. But first, let me go ahead and just tie them, because I like that. So I'm just going to tie these 2 together in a similar way. And that just holds my pads together, and you could fit all 3 in there if you wanted to decorate all 3 of them and fit them in. Leave those a little long because I like that. And then to package it up, I'm going to use a little bit of shred. So I have some of the shred from the Dollar Tree. That crinkling I know bothers some people. Let me put a little bit into the bottom of my pouch so that I can get my notepads to stand up just a bit. And I'm just going to put my pen right next to it, right there. And you put a few of these in so they stick out from the front. Here's my bag. Now I'm going to tuck this in. And I like to have a little bit of a shred around the bag. Oops. So let me go ahead and tuck some in around the back and sides. Okay. All right, so now that I've got it the way I like it, the way I finished my bag was with a topper, and I used a piece of cardstock that coordinated that was 3 inches by 6 inches, because that would cover the bag from side to side. And I simply scored at 1 3/4 inches. So at 1 3/4, so my front of my topper will be a little bit longer than my back of my topper. Once everything is in there that you want, go ahead and take your topper with the long side front. I flattened it, put it inside, centered it, and then I took a stapler and I stapled 2, making sure I was in the center somewhere. And making sure that my, oops, sorry for the camera, making sure that my staple bottoms were up so that the neat side would be on the back. I took a piece of coordinating paper that was 5 3/4 inch wide by 1.5 inches tall, because that's what fits inside my topper. And I wasn't too concerned about it being exact matches. I just wanted them to coordinate well so they look good together. And then I simply layered my embellishment on there. Alright, so that's my packaging, and I think that looks very sweet for a gift. And I think even the guys would use these because they like the notepads in there and they can tuck it into their pocket. Let me bring my other ones back. So we can fit a lot of things in here, a lot of different things in here, like hot cocoa packets, notepads, sticky notes, tea bags, coffee bags, a lot of different things you can find in here. Seed packets would be really cute. But if you need one a little bit bigger, let me just quickly show you what my prototype was, because this one will actually fit a mug treat pouch in there as well. So if you want to do some mug treat pouches, you can actually make a little bit bigger one. And for this, I used the full 6 by 12 inch piece of paper. It just ended up being a little bit too big for my hot cocoa pouch, which is what I originally started this for. And I have one of these wooden spoons. I got these at Hobby Lobby. And I actually found 2 different sizes. Let me show you the packaging. These are from the party section, and there's 2 different sizes that I found. I don't know if that was a mistake or not, but I found 2 different 12 counts of these for $2.99. And of course, got it with a coupon, or if you can get them during when the party stuff is on sale, that would be great because it was in the party section. And just quickly, the measurements for this one is a 6 by 12 with a 12-inch side up. You score it at 3 inches and 8 3/4, and then turn the short side up with the bottom towards the left guide and score that a 1/2 inch for that bottom tab. And you put it together the exact same way. It will not fit into the same pouch. If you want to package these, you have to use a bigger size pouch for this one. And I don't know what's available for that one because I didn't look for it. But as I said, this one gives you a little bit more room if you want to fit the mug treat in there as well. Now on this one, you see I did a decorative edge on the top. You could also cover it with a little strip of paper to make it look pretty. If you punch into it like this, just make sure you do not go through that last layer to break the seal into the pouch. Make sure that pouch is still intact through that seal that they put on the top. But let me hold that for a moment so you can see. All right, and really you can adjust the size you want to any size that you want. Now, if you want a smaller one, I actually did create a smaller one, and I will link that video here as well as in the description below. If you want something tiny that will just fit maybe a Ghirardelli chocolate for a little favor. So I hope you enjoy this project and give it a try. If you like the video, please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to be notified of new videos as I upload them. For more information on this project and others I've done, please visit rejoiceandcreate.com. And as always, until we meet again, I hope your days are blessed. Bye!